Okay, sorry, I got cut off. I ran out of time on my last video. So this is like a part two at the very end. So Odysseus says, as he's changing back, right? The last thing we read about in the last part of what she said last was how right here in this section here, Athena is changing him back, making him more handsome, taller, special looking, and he becomes Odysseus again. And he stands there and is looking at his lovely wife. He says, "Strange woman, the immortals of Olympus made you hard, harder than any. Who else in the world would keep aloof as you do from her husband if he returned to her from years of trouble, cast on his own land in the 20th year? Nurse, make up a bed for me to sleep on. Her heart is iron in her breast." Penelope spoke to Odysseus now. She said, "Strange man, if man you are. This is no pride on my part, nor scorn for you, not even wonder. Merely, I know so well how he appeared boarding the ship for Troy. But all the same, make up his bed for him, Euryclea. Place it outside the bedchamber my lord built with his own hands. Pile that big bed with fleeces, rugs, and sheets of purest linen." With this, she tried him to the breaking point, and he turned on her in a flash, raging. "Woman, by heaven, you've stung me now. Who dared to move my bed? No builder had the skill for that, unless a god came down and turned the trick. No mortal in his best days could budge it without a crowbar. There is our pact and pledge, our secret sign, built into that bed. My handiwork and no one else's." An old olive An old trunk of olive grew like a pillar on the building plot, and I laid out our bedroom around that tree, lined up the stone walls, built the walls and the roof, gave it a doorway and smooth fitting doors. Then I lopped off the silvery leaves and branches, hewed and shaped that stump from the roots up into a bedpost, drilled it, let it serve as a model for the rest. I planed them all, inlaid them with silver, gold, and ivory, and stretched a bed between, a pliant web of oxhide thongs dyed crimson. There's our sign. I know no more. Could someone else's hand have sawn that trunk and dragged the frame away? Their secret, as she heard it told, her knees grew tremulous and weak. Her heart failed her. With eyes brimming tears, she ran to him. Okay, so this is a major part that's happening here. So she was questioning, right? She was questioning Euryclea, questioning the time. Is it him? Could it be him? Could it be a trick? So then she laid eyes on him. Maybe it could be him. Maybe it's a trick. He's just really standing and being observed by her. So he throws her kind of a clue and says, "Make up my bed. Get me somewhere to sleep, because she doesn't want to sleep with me. She doesn't want to reunite as my wife right now. I get it. Give her some time, but I need to sleep." So now Penelope kind of picks up maybe on the hint, and she says, "Yeah, okay. Make up a bed for him, Euryclea. Take his bed and put it out of the bedroom. Let him sleep on that." Now, of course, it's Odysseus, so of course he knows what his bed looks like and how his bed was built. So he knows she is kind of testing him. So he says, kind of raging, it says, like angry, saying, "Woman, who moved my bed? That is impossible. Nobody can do that." And then he goes on to describe and, revisit how their bed is made. So what he had done when they first originally met and got married is there were trees, and he built this bedroom around these beautiful trees. He carved them out. He made them kind of into like a 4-poster bed. He carved out the headboard, and he kind of made the bed in amongst these tree roots or tree trunks. So there's no way on earth that anybody could just say, "Oh, just wheel that bed out into the hallway and he can sleep on it." She knows this, and only he knows this. So if she's going to find out if it's Odysseus, she's going to ask him a trick question, and she does, and they call it their secret sign. So he goes on about the story about how he built the bed, and then he says to her, "This is our sign. No one else could have known this or done this." And at that very moment, here in the last few lines, he says, or she says, she relents and kneels down and cries and realizes, yes, oh my God, indeed, this is her husband Odysseus home from war, right there in front of her eyes. So the last line here, it says, with eyes brimming tears, she ran to him. Now, of course, I stopped it in the middle of a sentence here for the next page, but you'll have to read and pick up where that left off. But it is so amazing. They are now together. They know it's each other. He is back on his homeland, and she finally knows. All right, so watch this again if you need to, the first one again if you need to, and then I'm going to assign you some lines, so please look.